where's my mic? Oh, wait. Whoa! Hey, welcome to Freak Out Friday, and it is certainly a Freak Out Friday. Hopefully I just didn't static you up. In any case, hey, welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles, hanging out with a guy. Hey, I'm Justin the Guy, and using the gimbal again to see if that works. So if it totally sucks, let me know. But you know, it's kind of fun to be able to see where I'm going and what I'm doing. I'll probably do a little different civilization of it. But hey, if it's Friday, it's Freak Out Friday. And the title is of today's show, It's Cold Outside, but the shop is on fire. Well, literally not on fire, but we have a heater in the corner. So keeping myself a little toasty there. Less Cam 51, thank you for joining in. 28 degrees there. Oh, in Ohio, yeah, we got the deep freeze, and it's a balming 14 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And I think our high is 18. So chilly. And you would think that would just snuff and kill my business or bike retail business. Typically, yes, but I'm not your typical bike shop. I'm basically appointment-based only service, selling used parts and frames, shipping across the United States. So even though it is below freezing here, I'm still open for business, and actually I'm still busy. But in any case, I wanted to jump on that topic of like, hey, why am I busy? Why am I busier than others? And why am I not discounting my labor this time of year? Then there's just a couple really good bullet points here. So if you're in a shop yourself and you're like, it's dead slow, it's like, then you have to do those discount coupons for getting service in the door and what have you. That is maybe expected within your market, but take notes from me this year and go into next season and try it first before you just give away the farm, essentially. Hey, 65, thank you for joining me. You're in Nebraska. You're in a chilly area too. Woohoo! Oh yeah. The cold kind of seeps in that east of us. So we're getting hit by those Canadians. I think the Canadians are attacking with their cold front. I always make that joke. It's not to be offensive by any means, but man, I implore you, if you live in Canada and you live through these winters that you're cold, that's a whole new level of cold. And even though it's a Celsius, it doesn't matter. It's the same cold. Sometimes humid. But hey, got a lot of stuff going on. I'll let a couple of you guys jump in here. John, thank you for chiming in. Good morning to you too. -13. Woo, Victoria, Minnesota. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure my other buddy Bradley has not pinged me and gone, "Got time to come home." To be in the negative. It's cold. Got to watch for those pipes from bursting, and hopefully it chills out the other ice that's up there, if you get what I mean. Anyways, I'm not going to go there anyway. G-Pass, thank you for joining in. Oh, no. Missed your show Friday. Hey, Tuesdays and Fridays, you can always watch it on the replay, that kind of thing. It's set up as a podcast anyway. So watch me, listen to me, whatever you do. A lot of people like myself, I was just listening to the farmer, myself working on stuff, just kind of carry on the conversation if there's anything intriguing that those who are watching his channel just can't get enough and just decide to pop and populate mine, which is cool. We do have some of those views that watch both of us, which, he's a cool guy, whatever. He has his niche. He does what he does. I do what I do, but we still love bikes. That's where it comes down to at the end of the day. Anyway, G-Paz, you are in New York, and to give a shout out to his shop. It is a really cool story. Read up on his website. Retired from the industry of, I don't know if you want me to say it or not, but it's a food industry, and just like, I'm done, and decided to do a bike shop, open up a bike shop, and being a grandfather, that's where G-Paz came from. That's what they call him. So welcome on Friday. It's going to be a shorter episode. It's not going to go an hour long. Reason being is I'm being kidnapped by my wife because we are celebrating our 15th year anniversary of our first date. A lot of people usually forget about their first date. Some people just do the focus on their anniversary. Our first date was so spectacular that she reminds me, in January, you're going to go do this. And technically it's next week, but we got things going on, so we're going to celebrate today. And for keeping warm, we're going out to a nice lunch in a nice warm restaurant and drink libations to warm us up. And then we're going to go get massages. That's going to on a heated table. So, hey, couples massage with a nice lunch on a Friday when it's like top of 19 degrees outside. I know I'm making you jealous. But in any case, that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be celebrating. I had to crank out some work. I have bikes out the ears that are serviced, which is great. And I'll allude that here in a couple minutes of what has been working, which I don't know if it's a secret sauce by any means or anything of that. It's just a happy, lucky scenario, perfect storm for me, where a lot of shops are slowing down and troubling. And the expectations are always too high for them. We'll go into that in a little bit here. But yeah, hey Scott, just saw you yesterday. Hope that trainer's working out for you. Oh, I'm working long enough till I get cold in here, then I'm going to be bouncing out. When it gets really cold, I can get it in, if I'm moving around, I'm fine in the garage, but it's about 50 degrees in here. But I do in short stints and I go back in and I do editing or whatever, computer stuff. And because I do all the hats of a bike shop. So I break it up during the winter time when on really cold days to just do like power hits on stuff that needs to be done. But I did a power hit. I've been here, already been in the garage for a couple hours. Kurt, lovely gentleman that bought this bike from me years ago. He dropped it off to have it tuned up. So, and he's no rush. It's going to be a couple weeks until I get to it. I'm going to do a little feature video on his. But right behind it is a Rivendell. Woo, a Rivendell. And Rivendell, you say, heard of them, not heard of them? Let me know in the chat if you have, or if you're watching this on replay in the comments below. Have you heard of them? Have you ridden them? This is the first time I've had one in my stand. So I'm really kind of, absorbing the culture of, reading up on the site. I'm probably going to reach out and call them before I do a full-length video. I want to do a full-length video on that because it's just kind of cool. They're not lightweight. They're not eraser frames. They make like 5 or 6 different models that I've seen. They're more of a custom-built, stylish steel, not in the sense that you have them weld to your perspective of geometry, but it's a cool line. There's these little smaller companies that have been popping up from like the Made Show, where this is like one of those kind of niche cult following. The name of the company is based off of the Lord of the Rings or something like that. Which, by the way, my wife is super geek. Watched the Lord of the Rings. More than a couple of the ones, like the first and the second one, I think she's seen it in the theaters when it was released like 50 or 60 times, like nuts, like that kind of nuts. So, in any case, she's been giving me the lowdown on the name, but we're going to feature that in a video. What it's in for is a full tune-up, like a whole bells and whistles, and it is one of you individuals out there that have actually watched me on YouTube and brought that in. That alludes to the secret sauce, but I'm going to talk to a couple of those of you in chat. King 7. Warm in Florida. Just talked to Bill this week, which is from Vital Bike Chains. He's in Florida, which is all the chain waxing and that kind of thing. So he's making me jealous because it's cold here. 22 upcoming week. Nice. Congrats. Heard of Rivendell, looked at them online. Don't remember seeing them in the person. Yeah, they're really far and few between. I try to look up a couple. There are not very many sold in the used market. They don't sell a lot of units. They've been around since the 90s, and they are just sticking to the guns of what they do and what kind of stuff they do, which is kind of cool. In my perspective, because it's kind of cool, because it's really hard to maintain that. And they probably, I mean, they've had some hard years over the times, but it's a really cool story. It's a really cool story. Anyway, all right, so yeah, let's do one of the sponsors of the show, which I just alluded to, of Bill and down in Florida. He does pre-wax new chains and waxes chain services as well. So I've been kind of working with him, trying to get him to bolster his company or business. Basically, that's all he does. And I really like companies where they're small and they're not too big, and they do one thing and they do one or two things really well, that kind of thing. So anyway, let's
popular chain process or waxing of vital bike chains provides brand names like Shimano, SRAM, and various others to be cleaned in high detailed 5-step process and then waxed to your professional level with either speed chip or endurance chip, which has been proven to have better performance and better lasting events and recreational riding. It takes care of the messy process, and all you have is the clean wax chain ready to perform. Check them out. Discount code with a link below.
All right. Yeah, sorry for that. Just to say, whoa, lost my gimbal. Hey, come over here. Over here, buddy. All right, there we go. Technology, right? Crazy stuff. Any case. Hey, yeah, Vital Bike Chains in the house. Check out his YouTube channel too. He has a few videos. Sniff the guy out. He's actually pretty legit, knows the stuff. And if you're looking at the higher grade speed chips or endurance chips for like your tri-bike or faster speed bikes or any of that kind of stuff, he is geeking out on chains as much as Zero Friction is down in Australia. So yeah, definitely cool cat. Definitely wants to help out, get people on wax chains. Which, this guy already has a wax chain in the Rivendell. I'm going to be re-waxing it. I'm going to be doing that bit. So what was important for me to get done today is a full tune-up like this is deep in the weeds with detailing the frame, which I just finished detailing it, polishing it up, getting all the contaminants off the paint, getting that clear coat to be ready to accept the polish. Got the polish on there, got all those dirty bits, scuff marks and all that. It's really in immaculate shape. There's only like about 3 spots where there's scuffs and a couple chips. And then I just, you clean it again with rubbing alcohol to make sure there's no cleaning agents or polishes are still on there. And then I applied the ceramic coating. The ceramic coating, what that's going to do, especially on steel frames, it's really nice because it does give you a waterproof barrier, so it prevents rusting a little bit there. Also as a UV protection, so it'll make this paint last longer. That kind of thing. And what the beauty of ceramic coating on frames and so forth, it helps keep it clean. So if it gets gunk and crap on there from your rides, you rinse it off with just water and a lot of that stuff will just shed. It'll just drip right off. So in any case, that's what he's in for. He saw me, he has this one, and guess what? Another bike that's behind you right now is a Waterford, one of the older ones made in Wisconsin. So it's going to be doing some modifications on that. I'll do a video on that as well. He likes different kind of bars and stem configuration. He loves how this rides, so I'm going to try to get that Waterford to be mirrored to pretty close as what I can between the two. But in any case, that's one of the big things I'm working on this week. And why, how's this all get crazy like this? In January. I mean, December was, flat. People are busy with families and stuff. I sold some things and did some repairs, but then again, I shut down a lot of that because I had a lot of crap going on. So it was kind of a twofer, but January 2nd hit and I had a first wave of bikes. People were just making appointments. And then it got quiet for a week. I'm like, oh, okay, this is just a hit and run. And then it happened again. And then I'm like loaded up through February. I know on the topics it says through March, but pretty close. I mean, you can probably get a couple more tune-ups in there in February for me to get done before March hits. And that's just nuts, being like I'm at least a month out on doing service. And that's not including trying to refurbish the bikes that I purchased either to resell as complete bikes or part out to frames and parts, which I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bikes that I have that are my personal ones and I have another one I purchased. I still haven't gotten to pick it up yet. So there's this laundry list of stuff that keeps me busy, busier than I probably would like to be, but I love working on bikes. So, hey, it's all good. In any case, so yeah, trying to thread in family time, taking care of my daughter, being, a relationship with the wife and all that. It's really busy, right? Just on a normal month. And now we're in January, you see bike shops crash and go into hibernation. That doesn't need to happen, apparently. And if it is happening in your neck of the woods, you're stuck in this traditional feedback loop, I would call it. I was there. I mean, my parents' bike shop, Parker Bikes, we were there. I mean, a feedback loop would be like you're anticipating the slowing of it, so you basically kind of self-sabotage it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, we need a discount, or we'll do tune-ups in January and February, i.e. the local corporate store is having like $50 off of their level 2 and $100 off of their level 3 or something like that. Pretty significant chunk. Basically, they're just trying to get anything in the door. They're not backlogged by any means. They're not a month out. And they're in a situation where they try to advertise the 24-hour turnaround, which this time of year they probably can do that. In season, probably not the greatest thing to think about doing, unless the shops are really designed to do that. And I did a thing on Tuesday talking about the MBDA had a podcast about a shop that did 48 hours and all their secrets to it. And it sounded like they had a secret sauce that actually did really well for them. But oh, hell no, if we're not corporate. I mean, as much as you can try to say you can, being there and doing it myself, we did 48 hours at Lee's in the early 90s. I laid that all out, and it was a pain in the ass. It's too hard. And did the grade of tune-ups go down? Absolutely. What I'm doing right now is knocking down the ceramic coating, so I feel a tug, and oh man, it's really bringing out the color. Oh, it's so super cool. So the reason why I'm jumping on the ceramic coating on this is because I'm doing several layers. And to do that, it's time. So I can do it 4 hours, and after 4 hours, I can do the next coating. So essentially over the weekend, I'm going to be doing a coating tomorrow and another coating on Sunday. And during the time of doing the coatings, I'll get all the parts cleaned up, ultrasonic clean, replace the cable and housing for the shifting. Is converting from, this is the latest thing, people are converting over from tubeless to these UPT or TPUs, UPT. That's a disease, right? No, the TPU, which I don't have. At least I haven't been convicted of it yet, or doctor hasn't told me. But anyway, these particular tubes are super lightweight. They're the latest rage. A lot of people are ditching the tubeless and going to these tubes because, they're just tired of the tubeless thing. And it does give you the performance or the lightweightness of tubeless. And they do have, some say out there, that have a little bit of flat giveness to it on lower pressures. This is what it's trying to avoid. This cake up, it dries out like every 3 to 6 months. You have to refresh your tubeless. And for road, that's really kind of a pain in the butt. Some people are out there. Scott in the chat here, he's really into tubeless, which is fine. But for a lot of recreational riders, this is overkill. And for him, he just wants to switch back to tubes and see how that rolls for him. And so this has wide industry hubs. I mean, these wheels are freaking awesome. Wide industry hubs with a nice alloy rim, beefed out, bladed spokes. I mean, there's nothing held back on this. And looking at the prices on these bikes, it's easily $4-5 grand. For a cool retro looking gusseted, again, I'll make a video that highlights all the features and the parts on this. He has Paul parts on it, which are pretty cool stuff. So we're going to give this bike a lot of love, almost inappropriately, but Yeah, well, this is more of a normal channel, not one of those other channels. And we're going to get this thing in a type performance, and then we're going to do the other bike and try to get it to be mirrored in the Waterford version of it. So cool projects there. How am I doing on time? I've got about another 10 minutes. So before then, my wife's going to pull the plug on me, so we're going to go out. In any case, talking about wheels, if you're thinking about upgrading your retro ride, that's a rim brake, and you're trying to find something out there that's decent quality, I got a guy. If you're looking to upgrade your carbon wheels or to carbon wheels on road or the through axle without spending way too much money, I got a guy. Let me show you who I'm talking about. And I've gotten several sets, which I featured a set on a mountain bike that he custom built for me, which the bike turned out amazing.
Bicycle Wheel Warehouse in California has an excellent selection of wheels to choose from. They're pre-built, or also you can have them custom built up to various sizes. You can reach out to them directly if you have something unique like the 650 wheel or a different style hub. Therefore, it makes it an excellent bike wheel set company that actually provides good wheel sets without breaking the bank. You will find them being very trusted and true. They really hold up under a lot of different riding conditions and so forth. It takes the standard old school wheel building practices and puts them in a better format. But in any case, this is a wheel set you'll be really love to have. It'll perform for you for a long period of time, and the quality and the attention to detail is superb. You'll find information about this company in the description below, with also my personal coupon code. I hope you find a good wheel set that works for you.
So yeah, you're talking about hand building wheels. These things were immaculate. And this is I've had a couple sets from them. You reached out to me over a year ago saying, hey, if you're looking for wheels because he knows I do a lot of rim brake stuff, and sometimes you'll find some good, a decent set of rim brake wheel sets out there. But a lot of people, if you don't know what you're looking at and have them trued and all that, it can get pretty expensive, and you're just throwing money away, and all of a sudden you have to get a new set of wheels anyway. But in any case, that's a great opportunity. And there also is a 25% off going right now on that. I've lost track of. Okay, I need a fresh cloth. But hey, give them a shout out. And this time of year, it's a really good time to explore those wheel sets, for sure. John, will Trek do anything special to accommodate 50 years of bike building? Maybe a discussion with John B. next time he's on as a guest. Yeah, that's a good one, really. I didn't realize it was coming up on that, but yeah, it was mid-70s, right? Actually, right about now, it'd be about 50 years. 76, 77, good one. Yeah, I'm working on a special guest. I'm not going to divulge who it is, but I'm working on a special guest, and hopefully I can either get a video compiled next week. I got too busy this week. He pinged me, like, we still on? I'm like, yeah, I just got slammed with tune-ups and stuff. Let's carve out some time next week and do a conversation with John. It's gonna be crazy. That's all I gotta say. It's gonna be weird and crazy, wild and crazy guys. Anyway, heavy motorcycles, welcome in. Yeah, ceramic, a Vet or a Ferrari. Yeah, ceramic coating. This classic is definitely up in that category. King 7, how's the durability on TPU tubes? They're still new. The jury's still probably out on longevity if you're riding for like a season or two. I saw on GC Performance channel, they were talking about that it has more of a flexibility to it. So if you do get a puncture, it'll push in, especially if you're doing a little bit lower pressure, PSI rating on that. So maybe it'll hold up a little bit better than a brutal tube because those tend to stick to the side of the tire itself. So you may have a little bit of that there. Quite honestly, it's a lighter tube. You can probably inject some sealant in there to give it a little bit of liquid coating. I know some of my customers do that anyway. So instead of using like the Slime Classic 4 ounces, it's just 2 ounces of any of the sealants that you can get for tubeless. That seemed to work. So it all depends what kind of ride and what you're expecting. If you're really into weight loss and rotational and all that, maybe tubeless is still the way to keep going for you. As a mechanical part of it, as a mechanic perspective, it's a royal pain in the butt to maintain and all that stuff than just your standard tube. So it all depends what's going to fit in your wheelhouse, that kind of thing. There is a place for it, for gravels, for mountain, the lower pressure tires, the better traction, self-sealant to help fix holes and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. But when it comes to road and like some recreational riding type stuff, it may not fit that bill. So all depends what's going to work for you. But just knowing that you do tubeless, there's going to be a maintenance portion to it than you would have just with a standard tube. So in any case, good point though. Good question. John D, thank you. Welcome to the house. Or welcome to the garage. I should say that. I've had good luck with the clean tires. Any debris? Wear little holes. They also come with a patch. This one comes with like little sticker patches for its own, so you can actually patch it too. So, but I don't know if it's holdable or not. But then again, riding bikes, it's part of getting flats. It's part of the reality of it. That kind of thing. Oh, I need to show this. Sorry. Yeah, nobody's seen the chat. In case they're not both applications. Patrick Washburn. Hey, thank you. Welcome. Question for chain waxers. When do you rewax? Okay, it's not a mileage thing. It's a sound thing. Once it starts making a little noise or acts a little dry, then it's time to refresh that wax. So there's two ways to refresh that wax. The heavier lift way is how it was waxed initially. You have like a bath system with wax, hot wax. You don't have to re-clean it. You just make sure it's rinsed off from any kind of debris. But you just take that already pre-waxed, dried out wax chain and you dip it. I use a two-pot system, so it kind of sheds the old wax and I put it into the dip that's fresh wax. Pretty easy to do if you have the wax already set up, and then you just do the shedding process and you're good to go. The super easy way of doing it is grabbing a bottle of, it's expensive, but you don't use a lot of it, and it's the super secret chain coating bottled wax. This stuff, it's the same tungsten disulfide with paraffin blend that they use in the hot wax, just emulsified with 10% water. So what you do is you drip it on there, and I have a video in my library, so I'd suggest looking at that. But you drip it on the chain, coat it once, and spin it like 20, 30 times when it's at its angled derailleur, and just let it dry, basically 2-3 hours, and let it dry, and it'll refresh your pre-wax chain. And you can keep doing this as ever long as you want, but nothing really replaces the complete submersion of the wax. But this will get you through the season, and when you get in it back to the bike shop or you do it yourself a full tune, then you can re-wax. The other philosophy is you get 3 chains that are pre-waxed and you just rotate them out when it starts making that noise. My neighbor, she rides a lot. She goes about 500 miles before she has to have her chain re-waxed. But I have, like Scott in the chat, it's like maybe 2 to 3, all depending how much you're shifting. There's so many variables to that. So great question, Patrick. But hopefully that helps you. But the drip will keep it fresh, and it's a lot clean. Well, that's what majority of these people that I have bikes in the shop that want wax chains. It's clean. And then on top of that, it shifts really smooth and it's quiet. And then it has all those properties of reduction of wear and tear on all the componentry in your drivetrain. And on top of all that, if you're the go-go racer, it does cut a couple wattages, or gives you a couple watt, I forget what it is. You get some wattage gain there. So that's the thing. They have it on the racers. That's where the speed chip, you want to get fast, go talk to Vital Bike Chains. Bill over there will take care of you, get you that chain to like super speed. And all those good things. Yeah, squirt is another one that works pretty well. They're wax-based. I mean, not to say, but the thing is, though, keep in mind, when you use any performance lube, whatever is a drip, paraffin to the wax, whatever, you need to clean that brand new chain or your old chain clean it with all the contaminants, packing grease, of all that, because all you're doing, even on a brand new chain, if you're putting that performance lube on a brand new chain, you're taking packing grease and you're cross-contaminating it with non-performance. So basically, you're getting a hot mess and not the performance that you're looking for, and it's definitely not going to do what the bottle says. So keep that in mind. So in any case, but yeah, that's the the wax is. Either you're in it, or you're not, which is fine. It all depends what kind of riding and what you're doing. But yeah, there's not that many people. I mean, a lot of shops have started doing waxing, but not very many of doing that high performance blend and that kind of thing. And to take all the guesswork out of it, that's where you want to talk to Bill at Vital Bike Chains, for sure. Absolutely. All righty. So the Rivendell is polished, and the ceramic coating, oh man, super beautiful. So I gotta clean the wheels still and true them. Then I put like a polisher that has some ceramic properties on that, as well as the parts. So hopefully I'll get this bike done early part of next week, and I got parts for the other bike, and I dive into that for that one. Then I also have a Mossy to work on, a Le Mans full carbon. As in repairs go, I have another appointment coming in later that has, I don't know what it is. It's like a couple of higher end bikes. But then, yeah, it's just been nuts. So before I jump off, and those are our bike shop people that have shops and so forth. And like, oh, you talked about why are you so busy, and why are we discounting our tune-ups? Okay, this is a long game, people, and it turns out it's a long game. Well, all the tune-ups you're seeing that I have in my stands for the last month or so, most of them been driven by YouTube and social media platforms. That's nuts, because they see my stuff and they're like, I want you to work on my bike, and they will drive an hour and a half away from me to do work on their bikes, which is amazing. Well, this has been occurring for the last year and a half, 2 years. Well, this is the first winter that's really come to fruition, where these are individuals that cultivated a community of cyclists that they love to ride, they have multiple bikes, and they'll just do rotations. And kind of a gift to me to help me out, they're leveraging the downtime and be able to get the bikes in and not having that bike to be missing in their stable in season. So it goes along the lines with his best course of action. What you do at the end of the season with your bike, well, you go get it tuned up so you're ready for the next nice day when it turns out to be 60 to 70 degrees in your neck of the woods, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go for a ride. And then you're like, oh crap, I got flat tires and it's shifting weird and whatever. Get that tuned up beforehand. Well, the secret of this, which is not really a secret, is just, or a happy accident, if you will, is they got through the holidays. Oh, I need to get Justin the bike. They'll either call me, set up an appointment. The appointments that have come up. Then I have new individuals that have been watching me, and they're like, oh, I need to get you in, get my bike in to have this done, and we'll do certain things. And these are upper end, like overhaul tunes. These are not just like your crank them out basic tune-ups. These are pretty intense detailing with a lot of them, ceramic coatings, all that kinds of stuff, wax chains, the whole cables and routings, hubs on some of them. Just finished some moots that I had to do a front hub replacement. I did a Pinarello that was being refreshed to be sold. Then I did another Ruby Specialized carbon to get it all going. So it's like, it's been busy. Why it's been busy? Because I put it as kind of like a doctor's appointment-based type system, where it really leveraging that, so you don't have, in other words, one, a lot of bikes just sitting in your store waiting to be done, and you're not waiting for them. So if you really appointment-based it, and you really gauge your hour, this is really can go towards your hour allotment, minutes, or whatever you want to call it, or when you're working and you're trying to do all the back-end charting of what you can get done with your staff, you can fulfill that and get those appointments in, and you get a higher quality tune for that customer, and then you don't have to discount your stuff because it's already really a super value as it is. I'm competing against All the other stores well, I'm competing against the whole Front Range in a sense, but since I'm leveraging YouTube. So how do you do that without going crazy and trying to build a channel and all that? BL Bicycles in Pullman, Washington has a perfect, easy, quick, and very effective solution. 2 to 3 minute shorts, do about 5 of them or 4 of them a week. Takes you no more than 20 minutes to do, from shooting it to editing it to loading it. And that gives you a huge push through all the social medias, from Reels to TikTok to YouTube. And then all of a sudden you'll be cultivating your community that'll have a larger reach, showing and featuring bikes and so forth. I did longer content that did pretty well. You might want to mix that in there as well. But this is a huge advertising platform for bike shops, for service as well as sales, to actually show who you are in real time versus, oh, I saw an ad. Who are these guys? I mean, I could go to BL Bicycles in Pullman, and I know the guy. I've seen him. I don't know him personally, but I know who he is. I walk in, he comes out, he has a great goofy voice, and he talks about my bike, and we have commonality. It's like you already got the barrier of like, who is this guy? This is a great person. This is a great place to work at, or to bring my bikes to, and all those things. So there it is. That's the secret to it. And it's not really a heavy lift if you do it right. And if you do it right, it'll be, for me, going into another winter, I'm busy, not discounting. And actually, I've listed on my website where the prices are going to be coming into April and May, because quite honestly, all labor rates are going to be going up. It's just the name of the beast. So if you can capitalize getting your bikes tuned up with either a discount or the current lower rate, because when season hits, they're going to have to increase because the cost of living, cost of business expenses, everything has gone up. Therefore, they're going to have to push the labor rates up as well. Going to leave you with that. Unfortunately, it's sad, but on the flip side, and don't think they're just raising it because they raise it, because all the other costs have gone up. The solutions, the equipment, the tools, the employees, they need to have a livable wage to support, to be able to buy the increase of costs on their food and everything. At least 10%, if not 20%, is what you're going to be seeing an increase. If you're a shop, you better be looking at all those parameters. It's not just what it costs you for an employee, what's it going to cost you for the employee to be able to have a livable wage and to be able to be happy and not lose. And there's a lot of different ways you can work your business to accommodate that, but end of the day, prices are going to go up. Get your bikes in now while the prices are not too expensive. And also the off season is a really great time to have your bikes tuned up. Reason being is the mechanics are not too terribly overwhelmed and they're not burned out. So you're going to get a better quality tune. They're going to spend more time on there, and they'll be able to catch things that maybe more a preventative mechanic versus just is a good enough mechanic. In any case, I have a lunch date, and I'm surprised she hasn't popped in yet and tell me that I need to go, not look like this. Well, I'll give it a couple shout outs before I go. Hey, Spooky Tuesday, thank you for chiming in. Sorry, I got to leave early because I got an anniversary date to go to. Shop Talk Tuesday, we'll be here back on Tuesday on that. Oh yeah, it's freezing. Colorado, it's cold. Wrapped the child up and threw her to school. Listening on my way to a local bike shop for parts. Nice. So I'm going to put a new handlebars on my brand new steel frame Wallby. Oh, nice. That sounds like a awesome build there. Awesome build. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. It makes this channel. Sorry it's a little bit short, but got to celebrate when you can. Kids in school, and we're going to go get massages. So don't hate me. Plus, I'm sore. I've been working out a lot because I turned 55, and we're about day 16 into my personal goals, working out as many days as 55 days straight from turning 55. And after that, when it gets a nice enough day, Kirk, he's the one that actually inspired me to do that. is to ride my age. So once it's a decent enough day ride with enough sun, I'm going to go ride for 55 miles. So that hopefully will be in sometime in March. Thank you all for hanging in. And yeah, thank you for congratulations. Yeah, 15 years. It's crazy. You know, it goes fast. And yeah, got some really cool stuff, really cool videos to make, all those things. Yep, I'm out. Everybody stay warm out there. Just stay warm. And again, thank you all for being part of this. It does really warm my heart. And all of you being part of this. Appreciate it. I know, I'm coming. You're pinging me, I know. Turn out the heater so I don't burn down my garage. Let's not do that. Oh, I gotta warm up anyway. Cool parts, cool things, cool things. You all have a wonderful day.